class 4 is about the posture. So we have, it's taught as a 7-point posture of Virachana, but we add an 8th posture to it, an eight point to it, which is our breath. So who is Virachana? Virachana is one of the 5 Buddha families. He's called the Buddha of emanating appearances. So this, what we're going to talk about now is the Tibetan tradition for posture when meditating. You shouldn't mix traditions. So if you have another tradition that you use for your posture, that's fine. Don't take part of that and mix it in with this. So step 1, lotus posture. Don't sit in a posture that will distract you, but learn to sit properly. I can't do lotus. I've been in the lotus position twice in my life, and I'm just not that flexible, especially now. So I like to sit in what I call 1/10 lotus posture. My legs are somewhat crossed. If you can't sit in lotus, it doesn't mean you can't meditate. You have to sit in a way that is comfortable, something you can sit, a posture you can sit in for up to an hour. Laying down is bad because they're going to fall asleep. So you're trying to sit upright. Well, you probably have to sit upright. Okay. So your eyes not too open, not too closed. I meditate with my eyes closed. There's one tradition where you meditate with your eyes slightly open. I find that very distracting. If your eyes are open, you should direct them downward at a point about 6 inches in front of you. Focusing eyes on an object is not meditating in our tradition. You don't want to have a rug with a pattern in it on the floor, because your mind's going to start figuring out the pattern. That's why I close my eyes. I don't have to worry about my mind trying to figure out the pattern in the rug. Number 3, straight body. Your chest should be vertical, in a vertical plane. You shouldn't be leaning forward or backward. If during meditation you find yourself leaning forward or backward, slowly bring yourself back to vertical. There are some traditions that have meditation thrones, where you sit, excuse me, you sit against a wood back to help you support your back. We don't do that. You can use it, but we use just the cushion. Shoulders should be level. Left hand should go down first, the right hand on top. I meditate with my hands on my knees. I don't. There's one, let's see. You don't bring don't bring your thumb and index finger together. I just sit with my hands on my knees. Now, in Arizona, this is important because in the summer it gets so hot. Your elbows should be out slightly. When you get into the position to meditate, you should determine to sit still. Try very hard not to scratch and itch. If a fly lands on you, you have to try very hard to ignore it. If you live in Australia, you're faced with black flies that want to crawl in your nose, which is really distracting, as you might imagine. So the idea is once you sit in your meditation posture, really, really try hard not to move at all. Try that for a minute. Extend that to 2 minutes. Extend that to 5 minutes. Your head should be level, centered, and straight, like having a cord at your crown and pulling up. This should be true of your back as well. Your lips shouldn't be clenched or pursed. They should be in a slight smile. Should be breathing through your nose if at all possible. Tongue should be in a natural position in the area of the upper teeth. Prevents excessive swallowing. So those are the 7-point postures. So let's do that again. Lotus posture, you're going to try and sit in lotus. Eyes, I like to meditate with my eyes closed. Your body should be straight, chest in a vertical plane. You sometimes see people swaying. That's when you're reciting mantras, that's fine. But when you're meditating, you should be still, not swaying back and forth. If you find yourself leaning forward, then slowly bring yourself back to vertical. If your legs fall asleep, don't worry about it. They'll be fine. That happens to me a lot. My right leg goes to sleep. Just be careful when you get up from your cushion that you don't fall down because your legs are asleep. Shoulders level, that's pretty obvious. Left hand down first, right hand over it. And once you get in your meditation posture, like I said earlier, try really hard to stay still. That's very important. I used to have a tendency that I'd get an area on my back that would start to require to be scratched. And I don't know about you, but I can't get to that spot. There's a spot just below my shoulder blades that when I stop and I think, oh, I'm in pretty good shape, I can sit now, that spot lights up and says, oh yeah, I need to be scratched. So I got one of those sticks that's got a little claw at the end. I got that so I could scratch it because that'll drive me nuts. Oh, here's the point I didn't mention. It's best not to meditate on a full stomach or not on an empty stomach. A full stomach will make you tend to be sleepy. An empty stomach will tend to make you want to think about breakfast. The head level, centered, the lips. I think this is important. Just you think about, you're not going to meditate, I'm meditating now. You're going to meditate relaxed. I like the idea of a slight smile. That usually means you're relaxed. Now, breath. always through your nose if at all possible. You start counting. I'm not sure why this is important, but you're supposed to start counting on the out breath. So a breath is an in-breath and an out-breath. I got to the point in 3-year retreat, normal human breath is 12 breaths per minute. I got to the point where I could do 3 or 4 per minute comfortably. So that would be something to start your retreat with, or when you start your meditation, watch your breath. Maybe for a week, watch your breath. Try and reduce. You don't want to hold your breath and have to gasp for breath. But if you breathe in, out, that's about 5 seconds. So breathe in slowly. You're not trying to hold your breath. You're breathing in slowly and breathing out slowly. There's a big difference between breathing in, holding your breath and breathing out, versus slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. Watching breath is a way to change gears before you start to meditate. Put your mind into neutral, and so you can focus on your object of meditation. You can be comfortable at 3 or 4 breaths per minute. So at the beginning of your sit, your practice in the morning, you should have a goal of, you could have a goal of 3 rounds of 10 breaths without a distraction. So if you have a distraction, start again and you try and get through 3 rounds. Then you get on to your object of meditation. So I think one of the more important things about getting a meditation practice starting is pick a time, as I've said earlier, pick a time that you're going to meditate and stick to it. When I was working full time, we'd get up, I had to be into work at 8. Took me about 20 minutes to get there. So I give myself half an hour. So I'd have to leave by 7:30. I'd have to have breakfast. So that meant getting up around 6:30 to practice, then have breakfast and go to work. And that was it. We got up at 6:30, even on the weekends. If you're going to do it at night, 10 o'clock. I start my meditation at 10 or whenever you go to, before you go to bed. But don't find yourself saying, oh, I'll meditate tonight or I'll meditate at lunch. Find a time, really make that a commitment. So what else do I want to say? Oh, the seat is very important. You need something soft for your ankles. So I usually fold up a blanket so my ankle bones aren't resting on the hard carpet. I have a meditation cushion. Well, let me see if I can. Yeah, let me show you my meditation cushion. So this is my meditation cushion. You can buy one of these. I don't know how much they are anymore, but it's a fairly hard foam. It's worth, I mean, you can stack up pillows, you can do all kinds of things. But if you're serious, you you want to get something you can take with you. Uh, if you're going to go practice, let's say you're going to go to Diamond Mountain for retreat, you can assume they'll have cushions you could use, but they might not be very comfortable. Whereas if you have your own meditation cushion, such as that can go on a plane very easily. Um, I don't check it. I take it on board with me, uh, usually. So it's worth investing in a cushion that'll be something you can take with. I just recommend taking the cushion with you. Um, and if you're going to have it at home, just get something comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, that's obviously another story. Um, if you're sitting in a chair, it should be a chair with a straight back so that you're sitting in the appropriate posture, not a recliner. So, if there are any questions? Until you you sit and start doing a meditation, trying to meditate. It's a little hard to put all this into perspective. So try to start your meditation practice, find a comfortable position, find a comfortable cushion or chair, and then reflect on what we just talked about and see if you can put it into the proper, a proper, comfortable situation. Meditation should be something you look forward to. And that takes a bit of a habit. If you're a busy person and you've got lots going on in a day, it's often hard to find 5 or 10 minutes to be quiet. I would give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to set your altar up, do the water bowls, and then you're going to start with 5 minutes, and every week add a minute. And by the end of the year, you'll have ostensibly an hour in place. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Let's dedicate our practice. May the source of benefit and goodness, the Dharma, spread and expand. May the beings upholding the Dharma have excellent health. May the source of happiness and well-being for all embodied beings, the Dharma taught by the Buddhas, always increase. Thank you for the opportunity to teach. I know it's kind of confusing. It's a lot to learn, but we're getting there. That's why it's 15 courses instead of 4. So, okay. Um, Layla, if you want to hang on for a minute. Well, I'm not in charge of the recording, so what I tell you what, I don't think Claire, have I sent everybody that compiled material, the readings all in one file, the homeworks and answers all in one file? Have I sent that to everybody?
Not yet, not sent.
Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do, and I apologize, it's all in English, but I've compiled all of the readings for the courses 1 through 15 and all of the answer keys, each in a separate file. So you can use that as a study aid. And I will send that I will send that to Claire and she'll distribute it to everybody. I do, I only ask that you can look at the student notes, but I'd prefer that you take your own notes than just rely on the student notes. If I found it much more meaningful to me to take down what I thought was important. So I will send that to everybody. And Layla, that should be, I think that'll answer your questions for the readings.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. We'll see you all next Monday. Have a good weekend. And I'll try not to double up the classes. Questions. Yeah. Yes, yeah, of course. I'm sorry, didn't mean to say that. You can, of course, use a chair. If you need to lean back to support your back, that's fine. The important thing is that you're comfortable. You don't want, if you have a bad back, find a posture that you can maintain for extended period. If that means laying back at a 45-degree angle, great. The important thing is you have a comfortable position with which to start working on your mind. And if you don't have that, if it hurts and your mind's thinking it hurts, I can't wait to get done with this meditation, you're not going to be, well, that's not the point. The point is to be comfortable so that you're not thinking about that. I have a bad back from, not when I sit, but when I lean over for extended periods, it really starts to hurt. I injured my back a long time ago. So what I do is I find now I can sit on a cushion pretty easily now, but a chair is fine. We had many people at Diamond Mountain that sat in the back of the temple in chairs because that was more comfortable. Okay. Take care, everybody. We'll see you Monday and continue on our journey. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please stay.
That's my intent. Okay.